Hello everyone, this is Passek, FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today a little super heavy stonefly slash sowbug. It's kind of an ugly looking little fly, but sinks like a rock and catches fish. Great little river pattern, especially in fast water. This thing gets down really fast because it's got a tungsten bead head as well as underbody lead. So this thing goes down fast. So play around with the colors. Make sure that you're using the body color to match your system because each system has different colored stoneflies. So make sure you do that. So, right? Hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get her on. So, today in the vise, we have a Hends BL120 Jig hook in a size 8. Yeah, it's quite a large fly, this one. It's a Sowbug slash stonefly imitation. For the thread, going to be using some Semperfli Nanosilk, there we go, in copper. For the bead, it's going to be a tungsten bead, 4mm, in a coppery gold. For the body, we're going to be using the new Camo Chinille in brown golden olive from Semperfli. For the legs, we're going to be using the new Silli legs in black yellow. And for the tail, we're going to be using some, these are light brown copper Goose Biots from Semperfli as well. And then I will be using, I don't know where I put it right here, some sticky back flat lead. There's not much left of this one, but and this one is also from Semperfli. Many different companies out there make this stuff, so whichever one you can get. But yeah, the Semperfli one is the one I've been using lately. Quite like it. But so I'm just taking the paper off of the back of it. I'm going to start at about where the barb would be, about there. Just stick it on. I'm not too worried about if it's not perfect right off the bat. It's all going to get covered anyway. So I'm just going to do, I want this to be really, really heavy. So I'm going to put that right up against that bead. I'm going to make sure that bead is in the right orientation. That's the right orientation right there. So I want to get that right up against that bead. It'll just help hold that in position. And then I'm going to come back. Like I said, I want this heavy. I want this to get down there. And I want it to get down there fast. Right? It's probably one of my favorite heavy river nymph patterns. Really like this pattern, always have. And with the invention of these the sticky back flat lead, well, probably a decade ago now, I think it really helps with because you're able to really shape that. Shape it as you want to taper and stuff. Now with this pattern it doesn't really matter because you're not going to see it, but with like Perdigons and other ones you can really shape it. So I'm just taking that lead and I'm just pushing it forward back into the into that jig head just to get that to hold a bit better. Now I'm just going to do a few dozen wraps here just to kind of try to hold that, and again pull that in just to tighten that up, get back over top of it. And then right back here, I'm just going to build up a bit of a thread bulge. And it's okay if you've got a little bit of extra sticking out the back. It actually helps as a little bit of a hot spot. So you could actually even go with a bit of a red here if you wanted to, but okay. So now I'm going to take the Goose Biots. And I want this sticking a bit past, I want to stick it out, but I want it sticking past the hook bend. Right? One. A second one, again about the same distance, give or take. Just get that loosely tied in. Let's see what it does. I pulled it down a bit, so I'm just going to lift it. Make sure that it's on the top. Get a nice spread there. I'm just going a little light there at the back, and then I'll just tie that all down. Go back in here again. Just make sure that's tied in well. And then I'm going to take my black and yellow, brown and golden olive Camo chenille, and I'm going to go right back to the front, right into that bead, tie it in. Okay, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to twist it. I want to make it into a rope. So you see how it's more of a rope now? And I'm going to give it 1, 2 turns right at the back, go back right up against it with my thread, and then just tie that off. Don't cut that off, just leave it to the back, leave it into your material clip or whatever you got, just keep it out of the way. I'm going to take, this is just one from one I did a while ago, so good enough. And my Silli legs, I'm just going to tie that in there, and then I'm going to make sure this is right on the side. I want that right on the side. That Silli leg. Okay, then I'm going to bring this one up and over and tie this one in this side on this side. Okay, and if it's a little bit too far down, just give her a lift up before you tension her, before you crank on this. Hold it all and give it a good turn. And I'm just going to cut this one roughly the same length that other one is, just to give or take for now. And then again, come forward a bit, give this a twist again, just to make sure. Come in front of that. 1, 2, 3. So once you've got 3 turns in there, tighten that down, put your material out of the way again. And this time I'm taking a long one, and I'm going to tie it in same way. I'm going to start on your side, and sorry, getting in the way there. Tie it in on your side. Make sure I've got enough sticking out there legs wise. I want to be able to cut it right. So, and make sure it's right on the side. And then I'm going to give it a bit of a loop and tie it in on my side. Just going to make sure that actually, no, that let go when I tighten it onto my side there. So just want to make sure my side's nice and tight. That side is in, yeah. Okay, it's a little too far down for my taste, so on this side, on your side. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a tweak. And now I see how it's kind of swung back there. I'm just going to bring that forward. I don't want it swung back if possible. I mean, a little bit doesn't matter, but I'd like it sticking almost straight out. It just gives that better view of that leg. Make sure this one's where I want it, which it is now. And then I'm just going to tighten this portion of the legs up forward. Just make sure it's all the way up to that bead. And then I'm going to give that a cut just right at the end there. Don't worry about the length, just leave it alone for now. Then I'm going to take my chenille again, give it a good twist. Go in between those two, and again between those two, and again between those two. Tie that off once, twice. Stroke all this material back, a couple of turns in front. Cut off your chenille, get that out of the way. And then I like taking the legs all on one side and making them roughly the same length. It's not rocket science. It doesn't have to be perfect. And if I'm going to err, I'm going to err on the side of having the front legs slightly longer. And that one there can get a little bit of a nip taken off of it as well. Want these about 3/4 of an inch long, give or take, on this size. Make sure that these are in good condition. And now what I like doing is taking some of this Hends hair dubbing, just the straight hair dubbing, not the hair dubbing plus, and just taking a complementary color, one that's about the same as that that Camo Chinille. And this is more than anything, it's just to hide that tie-in point in the front here more than anything. Take a little bit more. It's really, it doesn't matter if you put it in or not. If you don't have it, don't. It's more for the fishermen than it is for the fish. Just make sure this is forward a bit. There we go. Give that a whip finish. 3/4 turn whip finish. And I'll take some of my Sally Hansen's and or whatever head cement like you like using, and I'll just put it directly on the thread. And then just whip finish back in that same spot again. Just make sure. And you've got a finished fly. Now you can adjust these legs, like these are swept back a bit, whatever. It really doesn't matter. But that's it. It's not the prettiest looking fly. I know that. But probably one of my most successful flies on rivers like the Bow and others, right? Super heavy, gets down really fast. Yeah, it's kind of a, like I said, it's kind of a Sowbug. It's kind of a stonefly. It's a little bit a take on the Bitch Creek. So yeah, it's a little bit of everything, but really works well. Alrighty, hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you've subscribed to the channel, thank you. If you have not, please consider doing so. And hope you guys enjoyed that one. And tight lines. See you in the next time video.